Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, of course, as you expected, there's more progressing news to the whole World War III, Russia's at our doorstep situation. There's definitely a lot of other things going on today. Biden was over in Europe somewhere looking maybe the worst he's looked yet. I'm sure if you look it up, you'll see the video. It was all the G7 summit thing, and all the world leaders are standing there, and there's some guys, I think they were Italian, parachuting out and landing right smack in front of them. And all the world leaders are, yay, the guy did a good job. It was a good landing. And Biden, like, totally doesn't even notice that this guy, maybe at the most 10 feet, just landed right in front of him. He's off looking to the side. He completely turns his back to everything. And he's like, with his hands out, he's like trying to wave at nothing. I don't know. And one of the world leaders, I can't remember which one it is. I think it was the Italian lady, came over and like kind of tried to nicely turn him around and get him to come back over. And they're all still clapping. And he's just kind of doesn't have a clue what's going on and puts his sunglasses on. Anyways. Biden also said that he would not pardon his son. So there's that. Several other things, and this isn't necessarily a news brief, just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, I guess. The United States Navy has moved into Miami, and they say that we have a submarine now at Guantanamo Bay. I would say we probably have submarines floating around in that area anyways. But because of Russia being in Havana, Cuba, and they've got a sub there, and that kind of stuff is tensing up a little bit. So I think it's a lot worse than what people are saying. I think that we're closer to the bad stuff than we've probably ever been before as a nation. And everyone's trying to downplay it, and including folks on our side. And I think because of all that, when things pop off, whether it's an invasion, whether it's nuclear war, or whether it's just something happening in Europe, with NATO and Ukraine and all that kind of stuff, I think most people are going to be oblivious. I think that's part of this conditioning to convince people that everything's okay, to make people question things so much, because there's so much stuff out there that's not true, that I suspect it could almost get to the point that we're on the verge of surrendering to Russia and China, BRICS, before most of the American people even truly realize what's going on. And that's something that we have to think about. I mean, what I'm saying may be a little too extreme for what will actually happen, but I don't think I'm terribly far off from the truth. I mean, during even the first few months of the Ukraine-Russia thing, there were people that they either knew that it happening and didn't care, or really wasn't paying attention to it, and maybe didn't even know what was going on. So I think that could definitely happen again. In fact, I think that's what they want to happen. I think they want to keep the people so just drugged up and distracted, so that when I say drugged up, I mean literally and figuratively, both. Keep people so drugged up and distracted that, when things happen, they're just going to be, it's not going to be a Red Dawn moment, I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be like Red Dawn. I don't think it's going to be very obvious that an invasion has happened at this moment, or very obvious that World War III just got kicked off. I don't think so. I mean, even think about it. Let's say a nuke was used in Ukraine, or a nuke was used against Russia. How many people would not believe it's real? Maybe forever, but at least for a long time, until there was just enough overwhelming evidence. And that's what's going on. There's so much fake stuff, fake news on both sides, fake information being spread around on both sides, that when something actually bad really does happen, there's going to be a lot of people that's just gonna ignore it. And it's tough because how do we even know that it's the real deal? I don't know, but I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of people that sleep at the wheel, and we could watch America almost to the point of completely falling before people wake up enough and realize it. The whole BRICS thing, the whole BRICS currency and the US dollar, it's that battle is heating up. Today, the US dollar has lost value against the Russian ruble, meaning that it's going down, the Russian ruble's going up. Another nation today officially applied to be part of BRICS. They just completed, they have their, I didn't even know this until today. I guess they have their form of kind of like the Olympics, but it's BRICS, and there were 96 nations there. That's half of the world, nation-wise, competed. The powers are shifting, folks. Our dollar is losing power. The global currency is shifting. And all of these things that are happening, they almost 100% always all the time end up in war. And everything that we can see, at least on the surface, tells us that that's what's getting ready to happen, is a war. And I know you're probably already tired of hearing about it. You're probably already tired of me and a few others talking about it. But these things, this is the stuff that we've all been talking about for the last year or two, saying that, hey, leading up to the election, something big's going to happen. World War III, Civil War, pandemic, all of the above. Well, here we are. Here we are with on the very cusp, the edge of World War III. We've got a president and government that's planning for some type of civil war, and all these patriots that are going to try to stop them because they're throwing Trump into prison. We've got a true culture war happening. We've got terrorists coming across the border and illegals pouring in and gang members and cartel members. We've got a dollar that's no longer the world's currency when it comes to oil. We've got new diseases spreading around that's being told that it could be the next pandemic. So all the stuff that we've been talking about for the last few years, it's all happening right now. And it may not be to that point that it is terrifying in its complete destruction, but it is happening, and everything is moving that direction. When it will happen, we don't know. But we can tell certainly that all these things are headed in the same direction. And we need to get ready, folks. This is not to be playing around with. Not to be just, ignoring it or being tired of it. It's time to take things serious and get ready. Whatever you need to do with your finances, you better be doing it. Whatever you need to do with food production, you better be doing it. Food, storage, do it. Ammunition, defense, do it. Medical, supplies, emergency, and medicines, you need to be doing it. Whatever you need to be doing to make your homestead more sustainable so that it can be self-sufficient, you better be doing it. Whatever you need to be doing to communicate, talk with your neighbors and your friends and the people around you, to kind of work out a plan of how to mutually help each other and how to come together and work together, you better be doing it. This is not the time to be sitting around. By all appearances, it's happening. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it's happening next week. But looking at all the things that's going on, it's all starting to come together. And for those of you that still hold out that November is going to change things, what happened the last election? Does anyone want to tell me? What do you think is going to happen this election? You think that they're just going to, that they were successful the last election, but this time they're not going to do it? I mean, do you really think that? Do you really think that they're just going to allow someone to get into office that's going to fix everything? And if Trump does get into office, then you got to ask yourself, how was that possible without the people in power allowing it to happen? Because not every state that was a problem the last time has fixed the problem. Several states haven't. So it could easily happen again. There's also several reports of illegals getting identification so that they can vote. Most states, you just have to show an ID. You can lie about where you're from. You show up and say, here's my ID. Some of them don't even require to show the ID. You just verbally tell them. And there's lots of illegals that are talking about it. There's lots of stuff in the news talking about the possibility of illegals voting. Whether it's legal or not, it doesn't matter. The things that happened last time wasn't legal, but it still happened. Now, I'm not trying to depress you and cause you to lose hope because of, it's not going to happen in November, because it could. But we have to stop putting all our hope and faith that there's going to be some saving event that happens come November, because that may not happen. And that's been the biggest complaint that I've had with the whole MAGA movement, is just sit back and relax and don't worry about how bad things are, because the next election, things are going to turn around. And by the time the next election gets here, even if Trump does get elected, and even if he was trying to do the right thing, things have been so bad up until then, it'd be almost impossible to fix, because everyone's just sat around doing nothing because they're just waiting for him to get back into office. That's been my biggest complaint with the whole movement. Don't let you be that kind of person. You need to be getting yourselves ready. Also, something that a lot of people don't like it when I say this, you need to be living in the right place, and you need to be working on your personal health. Those are two things that are like touchy subjects in the prepper world. Lose weight, get in shape, and get out of the cities or out of places that are just unsustainable and indefensible. If you live in those places, get out. If you're not in the best health, get out. Get up and start doing stuff. I'm not in the best health, but I'm working out. I'm working out more than I've been in quite a while. Trying to do it almost every day now. And eating even healthier and healthier, just constantly pushing myself to do even better. Because I know that when things fall apart, my body will be put more to the test than it has been. And that's the same for all of us. I could be wrong. It's very possible that I could be wrong, and all this passes and nothing really bad happens. But if I am wrong, or if I am right, and you've done nothing, you're going to do more than hate yourself. If I'm wrong and nothing happens, okay, you can get on here and tell me that nothing happened. And I'll say, well, I missed that one. But if stuff does happen and you've done nothing to get ready, think about it. Now's the time to do it, because once it already happens, it's too late. It's too late to get out there and say, oh, okay, now I'm going to start stocking up and get myself in shape and move and do all these things and train and build relationships. It's really too late at that point. So get out there, get your houses in order, and prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.